Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner of this one will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 54. And away we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Check your hot read.
Get it.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
25, check 25, check 25.
Here's Newton. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 20. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Mixon. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Push him back. Push him back.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the...
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Jags grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Leonard Fournette. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Geno Atkins got home that time. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From midfield here, Dalton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
First down, Bengals.
Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
At the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And Eifert has it. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals have taken the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Newton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Newton, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know The best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
But if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
368. Watch the whip.
Mixon will try the right side. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Mixon. And an alley to run. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton dancing to his left. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. So we are halfway. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Hey, Haywood. Regular. Undercrush.
Snap came at 1. Now here's Dalton. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 30 down.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll run on first down. Mixon. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Deuce. Hey, check 24.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
On third down, Mixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
First and 10 at the
Good job, buddy.
46-yard line.
Get it.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
Gun.
50 seconds.
Get it.
Now Newton on first down. And this is going to be incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame,
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
so one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Check.
Great. 8. Great.
Truck.
Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. DJ Chark, the intended target. And now it's second down.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Great.
Throwing again. Newton escaping the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. On 3rd down, Fournette. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a toss to Armstead. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, 4 down. Shift.
Watch the shit go. 368.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Go.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Bird to return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Their own 28-yard line.
Ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A shotgun give to Fournette, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
57 to Mike. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Gun.
Check Mike 57, Mike 57. Know your job. Look small. 57's the Mike.
They snap it to Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Geno Atkins. And that may put a period on this AFC Championship game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mixon. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. On 1st down, Mixon. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And the Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Mixon with it. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And with this win and an AFC championship, they have reached the most hallowed ground in all of sports.
That means they are the best in their conference. What an incredible feeling for this team to go through the entire season and come out on top and now go to the Super Bowl for the right to be called world champion.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.